Welcome to On Second Thought. I'm John Price, and I'm here with our pastor, Jay Hackett, where every week we take a deeper dive into life at Peachtree Corners Baptist Church. Whether we're talking about the latest sermon, upcoming events, or just whatever's on Jay's mind, this is your insider look at our church, our staff, and what makes PCBC your church on the corner. So join our conversation as we help you find community, purpose, and growth. Let's get into it. Hello and welcome to On Second Thought. This is episode 34, and thank you for joining us. We took a week off.
We did.
Yeah. Now, to be fair, we're always a little off.
Well,
but with, I think you had something with the state convention you needed to be at.
I was not arrested or anything, but just clarity there.
An appointment with the state.
But just an appointment in front of the court.
Right.
No. GBC was in town and had an executive committee meeting and a couple other things that I had to be a part of. So we ended up not shooting this last week, but that just means that we're in double spirits today.
And we have twice as much stuff to talk about in half the time. We just finished, that was sermon 2 of the series.
Yesterday.
Okay.
So we're in a series called Calm in the Chaos. And, we just recognize that this is a season that is so chaotic, whether it's our own expectations that we put on ourselves or the pressures of other people that they get to put on us, and just how do you unpack some of that? And so it's not that we run away from it or we just, bury our head in the sand. It's no, I want to be able to experience the peace and the calm in the midst of that. And so, the takeaway that we've said every week is that calm's not found in the absence of chaos. It's found in the presence of Christ. Yeah. And so how do we find that? How do we look for that? How do we have that kind of a balance where we're going, you know what? All these things don't really matter. This is the only thing that does matter. And so how do I enjoy the time that I have with my family? Choosing to focus on the positive rather than the negative, choosing not to dwell maybe on some of the past frustrations and different things that happen there within the family. And yesterday we looked at Philippians 2, and, the thing that just jumped off the page at me as I was beginning to look at that was he was talking about, if there's any encouragement in Christ, if there's any, consolation of love, if there's any fellowship with the Spirit, any compassion, any affection. And
rhetorical question.
Yes, rhetorical, because he's going, because there is.
Right, yeah.
And so, the thing that got me was so many times we get to holidays, when we get around family, we get around in-laws, it's this validation that we seek, right? It's this acceptance. It's this, man, I want you to be proud of me, pleased with me. All of these inner feelings that every one of us has, and we're like, and I'm just longing to hear, good job, well done, all these different things. And what Paul was reminding us there is we have that. And so we don't need to be validated from anybody else because we've been validated in Christ. Yeah. And he says, you are good enough. You are wanted. You are loved. You are everything. And that's what Paul's telling us, because you are. And so now we walk from a different position of understanding that and kind of going, wow, I am fully loved in him. I have everything that I need. Therefore, I don't have to go seeking that from anywhere else. I already stand in that.
Or I don't have to wait for, we were joking about this earlier is, oh boy, when the holidays come, I'm going to have some downtime. Mm-hmm. And you're bringing out the importance of this mindset shift is I don't have to wait for, which isn't true anyways, because if I'm in the same, mind space and running the same kind of systems or how I talk to myself, if it doesn't matter when, I'm still going to be just, stressed and all that. So that's,
identity
that's very helpful,
man. I mean, we've been talking about that for
it's one of the pillars.
A year now, and just talking about this idea of who are you? And I think, and it's a lifelong battle, I mean, we may know it, but we don't know it. Yeah. And so we don't live in it and act out of it. And so that's kind of where Paul was telling us yesterday was, listen, you got to recognize that you already have all of this. And
Yeah.
so your response is not based off of, now I'm trying to get this result from you. I already have this result. Therefore, man, I just want to serve you. And I just want to love you. And I don't want to have to be about selfish ambition and conceit and any of these different things that, don't have to be first, don't have to be the best. And it really, if we could get it, it just makes us go,
Yeah.
man, let me just rest. Let me be in the moment here and not worrying about impressing you, not worrying about any of this other stuff. Let me just listen. Let's just enjoy our time together and go, man, what a blessing that, was able to be in the room with so many people that we love, or basically we were looking at how does that affect our attitude, right? Because he wraps that up and said, have this attitude in you that's also in Christ Jesus. So I was saying, what's our attitude like this season? Are we going to be people who are gracious? Are we going to be people who are humble and say, no, you go first. You have the parking space. I'll drive around 6 more times and find a new way. It sounded like
those that you were a little sarcastic. I will pray for them. God give them the brain.
God give, I mean, it's the normal frustrations, but everything seems to be elevated.
Yeah.
During the holiday season, the pressure, the stress, the got to get everything right. And so it's just pause for a moment. And, if nothing else, I know there's still going to be times where we're like, may it come to our mind and let me go, you know what? It's okay.
Yeah.
So I'm 5 minutes late. Big deal.
Well,
or,
I think the holidays exaggerated actually because, that saying that nothing brings out crazy like family. Is that way? But whether you were in a healthy or an unhealthy family growing up, when we go back, you actually kind of drop back into those roles, and it's just kind of something that happens to us that we don't even think about is all of a sudden, I'm 56 years old, and when I go home, I kind of almost drop back into the kid role.
Yeah.
And it's something I unconsciously do. And then, parents, and as a parent, I can speak to when I spend time with my kids, I'm still seeing them as the kids. Yeah. So it can be frustrating, and we don't even know why, that we drop back into that time in our life when we were still having struggles with certain things that we have moved on from and grown out of. And so we just kind of forget. And so that going back to identity is one of the things that when we are not acting at our best, when we're not thinking our best, we've forgotten who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And so that is part of that. What, your message is that idea of recognizing and remembering, that daily remembering of this is who I am, that I can go home, that I can go back into situations where maybe in the past I was less mature, or I had some stuff I was dealing with or going on, and I don't have to show up the way that I did then. Correct. I can show up as who I am now, and actually bring health and healing to those situations, which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm sitting here thinking, instead of on second thought, now we're having deep thoughts.
Yeah.
That's, good grief, man.
Years of counseling.
But that is so easy, like you're saying, to fall back into that.
Yeah.
And we do it without even thinking about it.
Right.
And then it's like, hold on a second, that's not who I am.
Well, and with my relatives, like when we, all the cousins and everything, I'm the funny guy, and so we rehash all the old stories, all the old stuff. And it's kind of like, those are fun memories, but I'm not just
that's not me.
Or that's not me anymore in that certain thing. And so it's fun to kind of recognize that and be able to move on and past it. But
wow.
Yeah.
No, that's good. That is really good. And I think that does help us find some calm, some peace, of just kind of going. And then if nothing else, maybe we walk away going, thank you, Lord, for how I've changed. That's not me anymore. Or that's not the way that I'm defined, at this point. It's not the way that you see me.
Yeah.
And so, man, let me reflect on that. And I can't change how other people respond or react, but I can be different, through you. And so let me walk in that. That's good.
Yeah.
That's so good.
So it's a great series. It's a much needed series during this time. But we also had baptisms.
We did.
Which is always great.
Which I love it. And so we had Rosemary and Reed Looters, Chris and Brianna's kids that were baptized yesterday. And it's just, I love the new baptistry, love the setup, love just being able to hang out with them. And what I love the most is Reed's video that he did. He was like, man, we've been in Peachtree Corners a long time. And I just started dying. I was like, Reed, man.
Relative.
Yeah. And how old are you again? It's all one of those things that just makes me laugh. And I'm like, dude, I'm glad you've been here so long and, that you're ready to take this next step. But it's always just so encouraging to see people that are just taking their next step and saying, you know what, I'm going to be obedient to do this. I asked Brianna this morning, I said, so when you got home yesterday and all afternoon, were your children angels now that they've been baptized? And she goes, it's so hard not to turn around as a parent and go, would Jesus be happy with that?
Yeah.
And I'm just started dying. I said, be careful. They'll throw it back in your face too.
Yeah. One, that's a grenade you can pull the pin on once.
One time.
And two, it has a price tag attached to it. So, but speaking of next steps, we also had the Discover class.
Yeah. 17?
17 including us.
Including us.
Yeah.
Which one of these days we're going to get this information, and I think it'll be good for us we'll get to stop going to the class. But no, we had fun with that. Had some great couples, several that are new to the church, several that have been here for a while that are like, hey, it's time for us to take our next steps and join and be a part of this. And so it was great just to once again hear the stories. I love hearing how people get connected to our church.
Yeah.
And, and some of it's just we Googled, and some of it was our neighbors or, man, we just see things happening around here. We're at the preschool. We're in the rec ministry.
Or
Momco. Yeah,
I want to say Mops.
Yeah,
now it's Momco.
Mops, but now it's Momco. But yeah, a couple from several of them yesterday from Momco that have been connected with that.
Yeah.
And, just unbelievable ways that people are being ministered to, loved on, and they're like, man, we want to come check this place out. And so it was great to see that. This week we'll follow up with some conversations. We used to call it interviews. I felt more like interrogation, but, we no longer do a blood test, and all that, and we're fine now. But it's just conversation. We just want to hear from them. Tell me about your relationship with Jesus. Let me know, have you been immersed? And, just give us your story.
Yeah.
That's one of the things I love about our church. Not only we're built on community, but it's all, let's know each other.
Right.
Not just this surface level stuff that I think all of us feel more comfortable staying in the surface level sometimes. But it's just, hey, share what's going on. And, let's do life together.
Yeah.
So,
I was, Hedia, was there Sunday. She's only been coming a couple months, but, I kind of set her up as, hey, here's how you do it she's already in a life group. She's in our life group and she's already ministering. She's working with the kitchen team and we want to help people get connected. And certainly life groups are a way to build community, but also ministry when you minister alongside. And the kitchen team is kind of one of those things where there's an element of stress just because, all right, we got to get this ready in this small amount of time and let's get out, or we have to clean up. And she's mainly is available during the cleanup, which is very appreciated.
Yes.
Because a lot of stuff that has to be washed and cleaned, and but it's kind of in the trenches relationship building that really makes it fun. So
JD was singing your praises yesterday in the elder meeting about just the team, the kitchen team, and just how much fun it is, and just the camaraderie.
Yeah.
He was like, man, he said it's just kind of funny how they rib on each other a little bit, how much fun they have together. But he goes, and then just the ministry itself to all of our families, and how many of the families have said to him, he's always on desserts and he's helping out, passing out things at the end and having fun with it. But he was like, man, it's just been such a great ministry. So excited to see it thriving again, and us being able to minister to families and just love on them, make it easier for them on a Wednesday night.
Right.
Just show up, grab some food, spend a little bit more time with their family. And so thank you for pouring your heart into that. And,
well, what's fun to me, it's all fun when we're together. There's stuff that's not as fun. I don't really enjoy the ordering and, the delivery and stuff, but I've got folks that help with that. But probably my favorite part is after we're done serving, we grab a plate, we sit around the table, and we just debrief. We talk about, okay, how did the night go? What went well? What didn't? And just that weekly where we get to kind of take a breath afterwards before we get to cleaning up and just encourage each other and laugh and have fun. And so that's kind of unique. We don't get that a lot in the different ministries. I mean, as life group leaders, I get to see my whole team 1 or 2 times, 3 times a year.
Yeah.
So to have that kind of feedback, just that short bit is really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
I enjoy it. I enjoy it.
That's awesome.
So this week is one that we have been looking forward to for some time, is the big screen install.
Yes.
They're supposed to be coming this morning. We shoot on Monday mornings, and hopefully have it up in about 3 days, have it done by Wednesday-ish. And is that the final thing for the worship center?
The final thing for the worship center, yeah.
Okay.
And so pray that everything comes in the way that it should.
Yeah.
We are set up on our end. Todd's done a fantastic job.
Yeah.
And today is his 1-year anniversary, by the way.
That's right.
So congrats, Todd.
And how
we
much
had the over
has
under
changed
at
and improved.
8 months, and so he actually made it to the full year. So we're excited about that. But
I think day one we knew this was going to be.
Oh yeah, this is a fit.
Yeah.
But Todd's done a great job of getting everything prepped and ready. And so this week they will start loading that in and have it up on the wall, and it will be unbelievable. Just the quality, the different things that we can do. And I know that not only am I excited about it on Sundays, but we got Kids Praise that's just around the corner, coming up first Sunday in December. And I know Tanya and her team have been really excited about getting in the new things. There's all kinds of fun, creative things they can do on the lyrics and the backside of, doing something like this. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity just for us to continue to give everybody just a wonderful worship experience on Sundays.
Well, the outside, fixed the outside sign 2 weeks ago maybe.
Yeah.
And it looks fantastic.
Yeah.
I was kind of joking. I think week 1 with the big screen, we just nothing but black background and white
white
text.
lettering. Yes. Hello.
Right,
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it'll give us so much about that whole renovation with the worship center has both helped with technology, with the worship experience, that things sound better, look better. But, with the baptistry, like you said, it makes, behind the scenes, people didn't, or out front, people didn't realize that initially we were going to do baptism at the beginning, ended up switching it last second to the end.
Yep.
No big deal.
No.
Now, if you're doing that up there, how it used to be, that's a much bigger deal.
Yeah.
So it allows you to have more versatility to, if you wanted to do it in the middle of the service or something. Before you'd have to change, and this you just kind of do it whenever.
The setup now is fantastic.
It feels more like a living room.
It does. Which is intimacy has been the one word I keep pushing at Jacob and pushing at the team. Is I want people to walk in and feel like we're in a living room, and that we just started singing, just worship broke out. Kind of a mentality of feeling that level of comfort, and then just we've not only have the setting for it, but we have the staff for it. And, I cannot say enough about our staff from top to bottom. Everybody just willingness to jump in, to serve, to do whatever's needed. And it really takes the pressure off, whether it's with a baptism or whether it's a video or whether it's, switching things. It's like we're all like, okay, whatever we need to do to make this thing, work and make it slide. And And so there's
because ultimately it's not the stuff we do. It's if the Spirit shows up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so, just there's preparation, but there's still freedom. And that's what I just, a lot of times you can't have that. It's like, it's going to be so rigid. But I don't feel like that we have to be in that scenario all the time. There is freedom for the Spirit to move as led. And so I think we're experiencing that in a lot of ways here in the life of our church right now. It's just been exciting to kind of watch it happen.
A lot of stuff to be thankful for, and we have Thanksgiving coming up this next week.
We do have Thanksgiving
next week. And so no Wednesday night activities.
Nope.
I think that's the only change. So no dinner, no children's stuff, no. Most of our classes, Wednesday night adult classes, are over for the semester. Our craftsmen are still meeting. We are actually building set pieces for the children's musical, a couple pieces. And somebody was asking me yesterday, well, the craftsmen could be doing this, and I was like, we have about 30 things on our list at the moment. And so as we, if you enjoy doing, handiwork or building things or would like to learn, this is certainly an appeal to be a part of the craftsman team. We have fun together. I am going to be able to spend a little more time. I kind of removed myself this last semester for the kitchen stuff, but I'm looking forward to getting a little more involved with that as well because of so many projects that we have going.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
There's a ton.
And it's a neat opportunity for ministry. But
it is.
So they're still meeting. They'll just kind of meet as long as people show up. But we are heading into that season. Thanksgiving.
Do y'all travel?
Christmas. Sometimes.
Are you traveling this year?
This Thanksgiving, we're just going across the other side of Atlanta to Bremen to see April's parents. And
going to Alabama.
Just about. It's about 15 miles from the Alabama state line. But no, we kind of have our traditional meal. Brenda makes a standing rib roast, and
nice.
That's good. And all the other little things that the kids like and we like. So, yeah, we've got that one down pat. And I think Christmas we're staying home. We're going somewhere for New Year's. But
okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it just kind of we see when we have time. And now that the kids are out of the house, is when they can be available. Is a big another
Makes it a lot
factor.
More fun, doesn't
it? Yes.
Let's use the word fun.
I'm going to say fun.
Fun's exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, we'll be up at the farm for Thanksgiving.
Good.
But then, hopefully our house will be back up and running.
Yeah.
Before then, you have been my wonderful contractor that has been a blessing for the last 2 months.
Contractor foreman.
Get this right. Yes.
No, that has been fun. It's kind of moved from hey, we've had some water damage due to a clogged AC thing to, well, what if we did this, or why don't we do this? And that has just kind of grown. But it's been fun. Yeah. And we've had a couple people come alongside and help out. And
just amazing when you take someone that's a dreamer and someone with ADD, and you put us together. And, luckily, you know what you're doing, and I'm just good for tearing things up.
No,
I'm learning a lot.
Yeah,
I really am learning a lot.
Yeah,
and one of the things I'm learning is that I'm grateful I don't do this for a living, because I would not wake up with joy every morning of my life if I had to. Some of us just wired different, and that's okay. That's okay.
Well, and it is, we're just in that season where it's like, all right, let's get this done.
Yeah.
Let's make it a comfortable place again. And then I'll get all my tools out of your house. Yes. And then we'll have other challenges and other opportunities after that. But no, it's fun. It's a good season. But want to thank all of y'all for making PCBC what it is, for your generosity, for your involvement in ministry and worship experience, for your involvement in just even watching the podcast.
Absolutely.
To kind of being in the know of what's going on in church world, in our worlds, as we look back at the things from the weekend or recent things, and then look forward to what we'll be doing and what God is doing here on the corner. But Thank y'all for being here. We hope that you enjoyed the episode, and we hope that you have a great rest of your day. God bless. Well, that's it for this episode of On Second Thought. Thanks for hanging out with us. If you enjoyed the conversation, be sure to like, subscribe, and share this with a friend. If you have a question or thought, drop it in the comments below. We'd love to hear from you. If you'd like to find out more about your church on the corner, check us out at pcbchurch.org. We'll be back next week with more. So until then, have a great week and God bless.